Hello and welcome to episode 190 of the Heart of Markness Led Zeppelin podcast. Getting perilously close to 200. It won't coincide with the new year, alas, but it will coincide with my birthday. Hint. And we have, by request, as I said last week, Page Plant, Tokyo, Japan, February 13th, 1996. This specific show was not requested, but this specific tour was, especially a performance of Tea for One, which was done on this tour. As I mentioned last week, they after they did their successful unleaded tour, I guess is what it was called, in 95, they wrapped that up, and in 96 they went to Japan, South America, and I think they did a show in Australia or New Zealand. I don't remember. I don't have it in front of me. But in any case, what makes this different than the 95 is they don't have as many people involved. Paul Thompson from The Cure, who was the second guitarist at Robert's insistence, for good reason, if you ask me, was no longer there. I think Jimmy proved that he could reliably be consistent enough to pull off the shows. You know, remember, during this time, Jimmy was still drinking. He was a little puffy fellow, and it's not that it was a huge problem, but there were times here and there where it did affect things. Once to the point that apparently Robert socked him backstage. But that's anecdotal. I don't know nothing. In any case, the 95 tour was good. Everybody went, I'm sure. If you were around at that time and into Zeppelin, you went. It was huge, hugely popular, hugely successful. Their album, the Unleaded album, was absolutely badass. I love the reinvented songs, the reinvented No Quarter, the reinvented Nobody's Fault But Mine. Good stuff. And a really nice orchestral and band version of Kashmir on top of it all. And that thing of Battle of Evermore with what's her name. Okay. When they got to Japan, they pared it down to a 4-piece band, the same band that would carry on through for the 98 Walking Into Everywhere tour. Michael Lee, rest in peace, on drums. Charlie Jones on bass and on Robert's daughter, because was at the time his son-in-law. And Robert and Jimmy. And Ed Shermer, I think, on keyboards, if I recall correctly. Nigel Eaton on the hurdy-gurdy. They had the Egyptian Pharaohs, I think they called them at one point. It was an Egyptian orchestra, along with an Middle Eastern percussion group. Really cool shit. And then they would just have a pickup orchestra for whatever the city they were in. You know, they would just have a pickup orchestra on the side. So a lot of people, but not quite as many. And one of the great things about this tour is that they brought out songs that they didn't do on their last tour, but that they had orchestrated and made arrangements for. So this is where you get Tea for One. I think they even did Achilles' Last Stand at one of the shows. It might not have been during this show. It might have been on the road. I don't remember. Long and short of it is, this tour is awesome. It is very well recorded. Is very well videoed, thanks to the magnificent Terry Stevenson, who is the guy that is responsible for almost all of those great audience shot Page Plant videos and absolutely made Japan happen. There's a fantastic interview with him on the Zepp Fan podcast by Mark McFall. Another Mark. All the Marks make good podcasts. I highly recommend it. I recommend the podcast, too. It's a nice dovetail. It's more collector-oriented. But there's also great in-depth interviews with these people who are responsible for bringing this content to light. So go check it out after you listen to this. Not before. You will stay, you will listen, you will like it. So, This is by request from a couple of our longtime listeners, Mimo and I think Knegarn jumped on board too. They're also patrons, so I am bound to carry their burdens and play it. And I was like, yes, that's true. I haven't done it in a while. I thought I had done it much more recently, a Japanese 96 tour, but it has been quite a while. And it is a great tour. I just realized I am not as enthusiastic about Page Plant, simply because it's not the magic of Zeppelin. You don't have Bonzo, you don't have Jonesy, you don't have that interplay and that synergy. But that's my problem, not yours. And I still do love this. That's the thing. I have all these videos. I've watched them for years. Woohoo. This is great, great shit. And you get to hear T for One. Holy shit, right? Live. Really well done. Really well done. So let's just jump into it, huh? Let's just get this out of the way. T for One. February 13th, that long pause was I was trying to think of how to transcribe 2/13/96 into words, and it took a disturbingly amount of time. Disturbingly amount of time? Shit, I'm having a stroke. Disturbing amount of time. Apparently having COVID in your 50s can age your brain 15 years, and I think that happened, man. Maybe it's all the weed you smoke. Fuck off. February 13th, 1996. T for One. Thank you, Terry Stevenson. I don't think he did the sound capture, but he did do the video, which you're not watching and I'm not playing. Okay, here we go.
How come 24 hours? Baby, you sometimes seem to slip in the day. Oh, 24 hours. Baby, sometimes seem to slip in the day. But it seems like a lifetime. Oh, baby, I feel this way. Sitting looking at the clock. Oh, time moves so slow. I've been watching for the hands to move. From mama to my sister, can't take no more. But by my own choice, I left you, mama. And now I can't get back again. Oh, come 24 hours. Oh, baby. Slither the days, yeah.
Truly beautiful, mature, and eloquent. Some beautiful phrasing from Mr. Page. Robert sounded great, Michael Lee did a great job, and Charlie Jones played bass adequately. I like that. It's really cool. The sound is great. This is, I did not mention this. This is a Liriodendron Matrix, I believe. And I love his work because he has a great ear and a light touch. And, I mean, it almost sounds, official. And that's because at this point there were taper sections on this tour, at least on the 95 tour. I don't know about 96 in Japan, but I believe it didn't take, if I recall correctly from that Zepp Fan podcast you should listen to. I mean, the band, Jimmy and Robert, were aware of Terry. And I think it's at this point he was able to actually get some of his videos to the band. I think he connected with maybe some of the Egyptian orchestra, some of the ancillary figures in TLDR. He got primo location for his recording rig in front of the soundboard, or he'd get to patch into the soundboard, something I can't quite remember, but he got taken care of so that he did not have to hide his shit. It wasn't stealth recording, it was more like Grateful Dead recording, which is why you have so many great shows from this tour, because in 95 they did have a taper section. Good shit. Man, thank you, Terry Stevenson. And that's interesting, considering that this is, 27 years ago, 26 years ago. Shortly, very shortly, 27 years ago. And we're listening to it now, and you can watch it now. You can get on YouTube and watch it. You can buy the DVDs. Yes, they're bootlegs, but they're great. And really enjoy this. Otherwise, all we would have is the unleaded album and the unleaded video from MTV. So thank you, Terry Stevenson. Saint Terry Stevenson. Put him up there. Put him up there in the heavens. Mike Millard, Saint Mike Millard. Welcome, Terry Stevenson. Somebody else who deserves the accolades. What we going to listen to next, Mark? Well, I think we're going to listen to a little bit of, oh yeah, Palate Cleanser, right? Custard Pie. Great song, fun song. Jimmy pulls it off live all the time. He played it in '88 on the Outrider tour, where he tongue-in-cheek threaded in every song that Robert sampled on Tall Cool One. He and the band played live in Custard Pie. So that's genius. I can't even describe it. It's not like he played the whole song, but he would throw The Ocean in. He would throw Black Dog in, and just so good. And it was really tight with the band. Even though I did not like Jason's drum sound on that tour. Hi, Kit Kat. There's a kitty cat up here. Hi, baby girl. Okay, let's listen to Custard Pie, and I'm gonna pet the cat. Enjoy, friendos. Again, still February 13th, 1996, day before Valentine's Day, Tokyo, Japan. excellent performance. Seems like it's a touch out of Robert's comfort zone, maybe just for that night. But I don't mean comfort zone literally like it makes him cry to sing it, because it makes him think of when, mommy burned him with a cigarette. But more like it's just a bit of a strain. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just Robert. Maybe it's you. You ever thought of that? Well, I'm sure it's not you. You're too cute. Now is the time for the spiel. Veterans can scrub ahead 90 seconds. I am available. Oh, I am going to cough. I'm going to hit pause and be right back. Thank you. You didn't hear a thing, but it happened. I'm available. Where am I available? Anywhere you can find podcast. Anywhere you can find podcasts, maybe. Which you already know because you're listening to me, so you've already found me. But apparently I still have to say it because every other podcast says it. You want to help me out? You like the podcast? Are you entertained? If you want to help me out without giving me money, which is totally cool, free podcast, etc., comrades, leave me a review on whatever platform you're listening to. It really helps out. Even if you say 1 star, this guy sucks, but don't do that. I'll find you. Now, even if you do, follow your heart. It really helps. It raises relevance, and that means when people search Led Zeppelin in the podcast thing, I pop up, and not just, fucking Dateline NBC, who said the word Led Zeppelin once in a show 8 years ago. Hi, Kit Kat. What is up? She wants food. You have food, but you don't have wet food. I'll give you wet food soon. She doesn't care. Alrighty. We have established that I am a podcast and I can be heard on podcast platforms. I have sufficiently charmed you and buttered you up. Hi, baby girl. Hi, baby girl. So you will then leave a positive review or give me money. How will we give you money, Mark? How? I will sell my children for you. You don't need to. Just give me money. No. If you do want to support the podcast and become a partner or a patron, go to patreon.com/heartofmarkness and see if there's something there for you. You can also hit the Patreon button on my website, which is heartofmarkness.com, and that's where you can go to get the shows that I cover. There are very, very few shows that I've covered that I haven't shared with you, and if I didn't share it with you, it was because I was asked not to, which happens sometimes, or it was a compilation show and I didn't want to upload 17,000 shows because I took one song from each. So, heartofmarkness.com is where you can go and download this entire show. Let me read you the set list. You want the set list? Oh no. It's divided over 2 discs, which are 2 different downloads. All right, we're going to go in reverse. Oh, wait, maybe we're not. Maybe I can do it this way. Simply because, for whatever reason today, when I load up my computer and hit the folder that all my shows are in, it indexes the entire folder, which is hundreds and hundreds of gigabytes, and it takes forever instead of just going, bing, here's your shit. So here's the set list for the show, February 13th, 1996, Tokyo, Japan. Soundboard, audience, merge. Soundboard source is made in occupied Japan, and the audience source is Hoochie Coochie. The set list is as follows. Introduction. Clank, clank. Thank you. I don't know why they open with thank you. It's so low energy. Custard Pie, which would be great to open with. Black Dog. Tangerine. The Hurdy-Gurdy solo with Nigel Eaton, the aforementioned Nigel Eaton. Jesus Christ! Nigel Eaton. That's happening more and more. Gallows Pole. T for One. Band introductions. On guitar, Mr. Jimmy Page. On bass, Mr. Charlie Jones. On drums, Mr. Michael Lee, etc. The song remains the same. Ba-da-da, ba-ba-ba-da-da. Going to California. Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You, which is always great. The Whole Lotta Love with a medley of shit. Friends. Yalla. That's the one they recorded in that square in Marrakesh, Morocco, where they're playing it, and Jimmy's Marshall stack starts going further and further into the crowd because people are trying to steal it. Beautiful. Four Sticks, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Kashmir, the encore break. What Is and What Should Never Be, always a hit. And then Rock and Roll, where if I remember correctly, Jimmy even jumped up into the air like the old days and did that kind of starfish blah. Good stuff. These are fun shows. They're high energy shows. Robert is more lighthearted because, I don't know, I think once they get to Japan, they just think kind of the eye is off of them more so they can cut loose a little bit and be a little more fun. I don't know. But that is at heartofmarkness.com, or will be. Don't run there now. It's not there yet. It's not there yet, but it will be by the end of tonight. It is 5:22 p.m. on November 17th, 2022. That's Pacific Daylight Time, or whatever the fuck it is. Pacific. I'm in Oregon. That's what time it is. So, we've heard that. We've heard Custard Pie. We've heard Tea for One. I've given you the spiel. All that's left now is to thank you very much. Please be good to yourselves and each other. Ha! Nope, one more song. Whole Lotta Love. It's going to be 16 hours long. Are you ready? Is it going to be like the ones in 1970 with the medleys that make you cry and go, oh my God? Nope, but it's still good. Here we go.
king bee can buzz all night long. I'm a king bee, baby, can buzz all night long. When you buzz out here, some singing going on. I'm young and able, buzz all night long. I'm young and able, buzz all night long. Well, like a nurse, baby, when your man is gone. So come on, buzz a while. It turns into night, the night is sure as the day. Still we come, still we hide. Bring on to the other side. Bring on to the other side. Bring on to buzz a while. Just our treasures here, lost our treasures there. Still we come, still we hide. Bring on to the other side. Bring on to the other side. Bring on to
I've been dazed and confused so long, it's not true. I'm all in one, never bargained for you. Lots of people talking, few of them know. Some of a woman was created below. You heard an abuse. Till all of your life, run, sweet baby, how you hypnotized, sweet little lady, it's living the man. You talk like so much when I send you.
you my love. Wanna give you my love. Yeah. Whole lot of love. Whole lot of love. Whole lot of love. Whole lot of love. Way down inside. Woman, you need, yeah. That's right. Sit with me, girl. I wanna be your man, good man. Should I do that? Should I do? Keep it coolin', baby. I keep it coolin', baby. I keep it coolin', baby. Thank you very much. It's
You're
very
welcome,
kind.
Robert.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Please sit
Well,
down.
folks,
Shh, I'm
we've been
speaking.
touring for a long time, and we are great believers in true acts of faith and miracles. And therefore, it is a miracle that we are traveling with these people. Please, would you welcome one of the finest troops from the Middle East? Would you welcome from...
Very beautiful. That was fun. That was high energy. That was good. That break on through, loved it. And not the ones that I've heard from the 95 tour and the one that they played on the night I saw them in Portland was not as awesome. Truly delightful. Absolutely wonderful. Unless there's a huge outcry, I think I may do a part 2 because this is good shit. If there is a huge outcry, then I won't. Speaking of outcry, let me cry out that next Thursday here in the United States of America, at least for the moment, next Thursday is Thanksgiving. I will probably not have a podcast out Thursday, but I will. If I don't, I will definitely have one out Friday. And if I do get one out Thursday, I will still probably get one out Friday or that weekend, maybe a classic rock one, because I've got a 4-day weekend. Hooray! Take that, all you people in industrialized countries that get 8 million days off a year. I get 8. All right, I'm going to go hang myself. Lying, kidding, not really true. So please be good to yourselves and each other. I am thankful for you. I am thankful for my podcast. Shit, I didn't read my patrons, who I am very thankful for. Hold on. Nice try. Trying to make me forget my patrons. It's not going to work. A Laurel and Hardy handshake go out to the following titans upon whose shoulders rests this humble yet mighty podcast. Thank you to Brian, Matt, Stephen, George, Big Ed, Kenny, John from West Footscray, Picard, Knegarn, Chris, Rob from Melbourne, Australia, Wayne, Brad, Dan, Yell, Tracy, who I talked to today. Great to talk to you, Tracy. He's my David Goggins. Bonzo, Billy, and Mimo. You got your show, Mimo. Happy birthday to anybody whose birthday it is. And I will talk to you next week. Maybe this weekend with the classic rock one. Who knows? All right. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.